Taking someone who is struggling physically or mentally with something and putting them on the back of a 1,200-pound animal sounds like a recipe for disaster. However, equestrians have known for centuries that there is something therapeutic about spending time with a horse. My name is Liz Nieman-Simmons, and I have benefited my entire life from being around horses. Chances are you or someone you know could benefit from equine therapy. Equine-assisted therapy is an evolving way to help people deal with disabilities or mental health conditions. Today, we're going to discuss a little further definition of what equine-assisted therapy is, followed up by a few different conditions that equine therapy can help, and finally, we will discuss some of the benefits. So let's begin with a better understanding of what equine-assisted therapy is. According to Scharf from a August 2017 article in Psychology Today, equine-assisted therapy is a specific practice with a broad range of applications. It always involves a medical professional and a patient, and sometimes it involves a third party who would be the horse expert. Sometimes the medical professional and the horse expert can be the same person, and it is the analysis of the patient and how they handle being around a horse. Now, let's transition to a few different conditions that can be addressed by equine-assisted therapy, beginning with addiction. Addicts often find that equine therapy and the routine of being around a horse helps them to focus on something besides their addiction, as well as helps them to learn about themselves. Horses are flight response animals, and they will develop coping mechanisms if they are not properly trained. Similar to what an addict has to do, they must learn how to channel their response to life in a positive way, the same way a horse must learn when it's working with people how to channel its flight response into something positive. Moving on, there are people with learning disabilities who benefit from working with horses by establishing a routine with the horse, going through and learning safety procedures. It helps them develop a better focus when there's more at stake than just their learning environment. They must, for their own safety reasons, focus on what is being taught. And when they're able to successfully do that, they realize that they can apply what they have done with the horse in their everyday learning lives. Moving on, another subject that benefits people a lot is those who are emotional trauma victims. And Schultz-Job speaks to this subject in the September 2017 blog post on naturallifemanship.com. They talk about how trauma victims have connections in their brain that need to be repaired, and oftentimes forming a connection with a horse is a safe way for them to begin to get those connections repaired in their brain. It's a little easier to establish a emotional connection with a horse than a person after they have experienced trauma. And once they realize that that is an option, they can begin to explore forming healthy emotional connections with people. And finally, those who are suffering from depression often find that they can step out of isolation through equine therapy. Being able to have a confidant who is not a person often helps them to take the next step and confide in their therapist and relate to, again, some of the things that the way a horse responds is a depression response as well in people, and they can find that is a good way to progress in their therapeutic plans. And then those are the 4 issues that I chose to discuss today. There's lots of other issues that are addressed through equine therapy programs, and we'll move on now and talk about some of the benefits of equine assisted therapy. There's immediate and long-term benefits from working with horses. In a study from Dario and Wood in 2016, published in Path International Strides magazine, in regards to post-traumatic stress, a program dealing with people who have post-traumatic stress syndrome, all the participants in the program reported an immediate improve in mood after just one session of equine therapy. So there's an immediate mood benefit there, and long-term emotional benefits are better mood regulation, better ability to focus, and improved work ethic. And if the program involves actual horseback riding, they will have an improved balance. So in review, we have now given a better definition of what equine assisted therapy is. We've talked about a few different conditions that equine therapy can address. And finally, we talked about some of the benefits from equine assisted therapy. And just to sum up my whole point of this, equine therapy is an evolving way to help people deal with a variety of disabilities and mental health conditions. And I would like to leave you with a quote from Winston Churchill, which I got from Goodreads.com. There was no date on the article. And that is, there is something about the outside of a horse that is good for the inside of a man. Thank you.